Another day, another tweet. That's how Donald Trump officially introduced businessman Rex Tillerson as his choice to be the nation's top diplomat. I have chosen one of the great business leaders of the world, Rex Tillerson, chairman and CEO of ExxonMobil, to be Secretary of State. The thing I like best about Rex Tillerson is that he has vast experience dealing successfully with all types of foreign governments. This means Mitt Romney, after several high-profile auditions, is out. He also tweeted saying it was an honor to have been considered. The selection of Tillerson, an ExxonMobil employee his entire adult life, has set off concerns about his lack of diplomatic experience and his close ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Some Republicans are expressing doubts that Tillerson is the right person for the job.
Anybody who's a friend of Vladimir Putin must disregard the fact that Vladimir Putin is a murderer, a thug, a KGB agent, whose airplanes, as we speak, have been targeting with precision weapons hospitals in Aleppo, who have committed atrocities throughout the region.
There are also reports Trump has offered former Texas Governor Rick Perry the job as Secretary of Energy. As a presidential candidate, Perry once tried to advocate for the elimination of the department he's now being asked to oversee.
I will tell you, it's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see about
But you can't name the third one?
The third agency of government, yeah. I would do away with the education, commerce, and let's see, I can't.
More recently, Perry was a contestant on Dancing with the Stars. Both Tillerson and Perry will need Senate confirmation. Joining me with more on the impact of 2 pro-business nominees are Lou Murray, a Trump delegate at the Republican National Convention and a member of the Trump-Pence National Catholic Advisory Committee, and Nadeem Mazin, a Cambridge City Councilor who first supported Bernie Sanders and then Hillary Clinton. Lou and Nadeem, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Lou, let me start with you. What do you think of the Tillerson pick? You like it?
Oh, Tillerson's a great pick. You know, a lot of people don't know what a virtuous man Tillerson is. He's very dedicated to wherever he is, all over the world. He's at Bible study on Sunday. He's also the president of the Boy Scouts of America. And, you know, that's an organization that has formed men and boys for the last 100-some-odd years in the United States. And those core values of thrifty, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, brave, and reverent, what a great export for the United States.
You mentioned him being at Bible study every Sunday. What denomination does he belong to?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, that's 2 of us, or maybe 3 of us. Nadeem, do you like the Rex Tillerson selection?
I mean, what a disaster. I think if we were trying to confirm someone to this position based on their church affiliation or their Boy Scout history, we could find a lot of great Boy Scouts to lead something like this. I don't think Tillerson is the champion of thrift that Louis is talking about. On the contrary, it seems as though both Trump and Tillerson think that what's good for business is good for America. Tillerson is someone who stands to gain, and whose companies, past affiliates, stand to gain billions of dollars if sanctions are lifted from Russia. A Russia that, as McCain rightly pointed out, is operating counter to American foreign interests.
Well, let me ask you about that, because Tillerson could make a lot of money, depending on whether he sells his stock or not, and ExxonMobil would make billions of dollars if the U.S. lifts sanctions on Russia. Tillerson has previously been critical of those sanctions. How does that conflict of interest fit the drain the swamp narrative that Trump put out there during the campaign?
Well, ExxonMobil is a company that does business on 6 continents, has 70,000 American employees. It's a wonderful organization. And I don't think that you can just discount a man because he rose through the ranks from field engineer to become the CEO. It's an organization, when you're a CEO, you're judged every day. In the stock market, it's the most wonderful bit of quantitative analysis on how good you're doing or how bad you're doing. And I think the work that he did in the nations that we're friends with and the work that he did in the nation states that we're not friendly with prepared him to be a negotiator on the world stage, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think anytime you get someone at that high level of government, they're going to put all of their wealth into some sort of trust, or they're going to let go of their shares. He's done very well over the last 10 years.
So you'd like to see him take a step like that with his Exxon stock if he becomes
Secretary of State? Well, I think that's de rigueur.
All right. You mentioned John McCain speaking very harshly about Tillerson and his connections to Russia and Putin. We have McCain voicing criticisms of this, Pick, Lindsey Graham also, and Marco Rubio. All that the Democrats need to block this nomination is 3 Republican senators to side with them. How likely do you think it is that happens? Let's start with you and then go back to you, Lou.
You know, the way it's been going, it's kind of keep what you kill mentality on the Republican side. Trump comes in with a huge hammer. He hammers everyone down. They argue about it, and then they side with him in the end due to some kind of party unity instinct. But I think
the pushback here seems sharper than we've seen.
I don't think anything has been particularly sharp on the Republican side, frankly, from a moral and from an ethical basis. There's huge conflicts of interest. There's huge foreign policy problems inherent in this pick. I hope that they do the right thing, and I don't know when that line will be crossed where Republicans will actually start to push back. For whatever reason, my gut says it probably won't be right here.
What do you think, Lou?
You know, I think this, first of all, the clip that you played, John McCain, you know, basically wants us to think that Tillerson is meeting Putin on Thursdays at the Y to play handball. You know, Tillerson is a guy that's got his mind on 70,000 employees all over the world, all at the same time. Yes, did he do business in Russia? Of course.
But it goes beyond that, right? I mean, he got I can't remember the official name, but it's something like the Order of Friendship from Vladimir Putin. This afternoon, I watched video of Putin pinning the decoration on Tillerson's chest. And for what it's worth, people can watch the video at home. Yeah. I thought Putin looked nervous. Tillerson didn't look nervous. So,
fair play to Tillerson. He's risen to the top ranks of his particular industry. That's a guy who has success. That's a guy that I want leading this country.
One more question about Tillerson, and then I want to talk Perry a bit. 4 years ago, you'll remember this well, and so will you, when Mitt Romney said in a debate that Russia was our #1 geopolitical foe, a lot of Democrats snickered, including President Obama in the debate, saying the Cold War's over, you're out of touch. Now we've got this crazy reversal where you have Democrats, along with some Republicans, warning of the dangers posed by Russia, and the Republican president-elect saying that the danger from Russia, and other Republicans saying that the danger is being exaggerated. Are you, as a diehard member of the GOP, is it strange to watch this about-face where Russia is concerned?
Absolutely not, and I think that you have to, even if you respect your enemy, and in the case of Tillerson, he knows thine enemy. We have to, you know, we got to keep doing business with people.
But you still think of Russia as an enemy at this point for the
No,
United States?
I don't consider Russia an enemy.
Okay. Let me turn to Rick Perry for a moment. There's not going to be a ton of agreement between you two as we kick this stuff around. Can I get you two to agree that it's a little bit surreal to have a guy nominated to run an agency that he has said he would like to eliminate?
All along, yes, it's super surreal. We're in a surreal time.
Lou?
No,
okay.
Absolutely not surreal.
You have the first go. Oh, go.
This is New York leadership style. Yesterday's enemy is today's ally if he has something that you don't have. The biggest gusher in Texas is the 1.44 million jobs that Rick Perry helped to create as the architect of the Texas Renaissance when the rest of us were wallowing in recession.
All right, so you don't see it as surreal. You agree with my premise that there's something funky about this?
It's totally surreal. I think the game Trump has been playing all along is, look, there's some annoying liberals over there. You're fed up with them. He's fed up with them. Trump's fed up with them. So I'm just going to do whatever will shut up their whining and will be as confrontational as possible. To put people who want to eliminate an agency at the top of that agency is an adversarial move, not a productive move. The future of American energy isn't in fracking, as President Obama's current energy secretary thinks, or as Rick Perry undoubtedly will advance. The future of American energy supremacy is in our R&D, is in renewable resources, and is in an environmental stance that is not extremely destructive, and we're not going to get there with Rick Perry at the head.
It's worth pointing out Perry's job will also include keeping the various nuclear materials that are here in the United States safe. Is that something that his being governor of Texas has him qualified to do you think?
Yeah, I think he's chief executive of a major American state, one of the largest American states. 37% of the crude in the United States is produced in Texas. Right? 3 million barrels of oil come out of Texas each and every day. I think the man deserves a chance to run the Department of Energy, and I think he'll do a great job.
One more question. We talked earlier about Rex Tillerson and ExxonMobil potentially profiting. Donald Trump has postponed that presser he was going to have on Thursday, talking about how he was going to handle his family businesses when he takes office. He did, however, announce, I believe via tweet, that his sons are going to take over the businesses and that there won't be any new deals while he is president. You talked about it being de rigueur for people to put their assets in a blind trust, for example, or come up with some other arrangement.
Come up with a way to separate yourself.
Does this provide sufficient separation, do you think?
It certainly does for me. I mean, what are we going to do? Anybody with a family business can't run for office?
That's right. You can't run for president if you have a family business and you haven't divested completely. For us to believe that his children are not going to confer with him, and for us to believe when he's already done this and it's been reported, for us to believe that he's not going to introduce business transactions into his calls with foreign dignitaries would be ludicrous when he's doing it in front of us right now.
All right, we'll get you guys to come back down the road and see if we can find something to agree on. Lou Marie and Nadeem Mazem, thank you both.
Thank you.